All right, everyone. Hey, this is Ray with TC Flag Football. We got Jamil Cheeley on here. He just went to nationals with End Zone Maniacs. I figured it was a great opportunity to bring him on for this edition of Unscripted and Unplugged with TC Flag Football. This is our fourth episode, and we're going to continue to keep this thing going with a variety of different special guests. And Jamil, how you doing, man?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Doing good. Before we get started into all the different questions I've got to ask you, the first thing I want to know is what is your origin story with TC? Tell us about how you got into flag football and the different teams that you've been playing on.
Okay. Yep. I started playing flag football about 3-4 years ago. I went to a random pickup game with one of my boys, and the first person I encountered was like Charles Harris, Nate Soto, Juke. I believe they were the Preds at that time too. They might have been Full Throttle. I don't know. So it was just pick up in the park, and then from there they kind of just told me about the leagues. My first league I played in was Sunday Outdoors in Brooklyn Park. I want to say
Mhm.
for sure almost quit because I didn't know anything about flag. I didn't know it was like contact. And the first team I played was who I currently play for now is Venom. Um, and then we played Lazy Tribe, and I got a taste of Thomas. I don't know if you guys know who Thomas is, but yeah, that was my first time I ever like rushed. He threw me to the concrete right there in the back, so I didn't know anything about that. So that was like my intro to flag. Um, and then yeah, I was on Predators for a bit. Team Supreme with Cell, and then after that, I played for a few other teams. I played for Carnage. I played for EB Bears for a little bit. Resurrection, I played for them for like half a season, um, and then I wound up on Venom, and we've been going pretty strong.
So you bounced around from a few teams and you ended up on Venom. Kind of, what have you taken away from those teams? And then with Venom, what are you kind of learning about your position and what have you kind of really, how have you really grown since being on Venom?
I would say from my previous teams, it's kind of like learning. It's growing pains and everything. You can't expect to win up front. Everybody wants to. That's like the mindset you have to win, and just like learning myself too. Because playing with Preds, like, and I think we were in the lower at the time. I thought I was a good lineman. I thought I was good at this. I thought I was good at that. And then I moved up into like with upper teams, and it was a pretty wide eye opener to show me like, hey, you got to step it up. And there's some vets that I played with too. And then landing with Venom is just we play into a system. Everybody knows their role. We don't overstep. We got great team captains that hold us accountable, whether it's good or bad. We talk it out as men too, and we leave it all out there on the field. The biggest thing I would say with Venom too is just going forward. We just have so much potential of growth, even with the same core guys, because our we got two wise quarterbacks, two vets that have won on multiple levels. We got DBs are out of this world. Receivers are crazy. Like there was some people didn't even know who Day Day was until this season and stuff like that. So we're like he's a breakout player to them, but he's not to us.
Hmm.
We got Days back there leading the defense. It's a no fly zone. Like some teams, you might get a couple on us, but it's just a different program. I love Venom.
Yeah. If you could sit there and sum up Venom in like one word, how would you describe the identity of Venom?
I would say poised. We do everything with just like our patience at our pace. We don't try and go score for score. We do everything that's like that we know how to do and perfect it.
Okay. And I know that you guys are really, this season is your opportunity to kind of really steal the top. You don't have to worry about Jabari being out there this season. Super Soakers seem hamstrung with an injury with Garrett out, but they may be coming back with some energy because they had Mock out there last week.
Right.
And then you got Silverbacks there that have always been kind of the team that lingers around but hasn't done what they need to do, in the upper levels of the championship. They get there, but they can't finish for whatever reason. Do you guys think you guys have a chance this season to really kind of walk away with the crown at the end of the season?
I don't even want to say that it's a walk away. Those are challenging teams. Everyone knows that. Soakers, they have elite athletes all over. Um, we're gonna win. it's one of those things to where it's like championship or bust for us. We hate second place. We hate third place. It doesn't exist.
Mhm.
I mean, like I said, our captains too, they aren't second place, third place type of guys. Like they're winners. Um, so yeah, it's a championship or bust. Soakers, um, great team. I really don't have much to say for Silverbacks. I know they have some great players, but like everything they kind of like sum up at the end of their season always comes down to failure.
Mhm.
Whether it's first round, second round. Um, but yeah, Jabari's they have a long history of winning. Everybody knows that. They're a great team. I like them. I learned a lot from like listening to like Mock. I played with Mock in Nashville before. DCE has taken me under his wing and like teaching me different blocking things because I wasn't always a lineman. Um, so yeah, it's just things like that. Like we're gonna take the league by storm, and we're just gonna keep our solid crew. Like it's one of those things to where this isn't the beginning or the end of Venom. It's gonna continue to flow.
Yeah, I can certainly see that. You guys have a lot of established players that are on your team. I mean, you look at the squad here. You guys just look like winners in this photo. I'll be honest. It just you guys have that mentality. You guys bring it every week. Speaking of your mentality on these teams, I want to kind of go into like. Give me one second here. Just want to get this in the right mindset here. You went on. You obviously played in a variety of different tournaments throughout this season. I think you've actually kind of tackled it pretty hard going back to you were in Chicago earlier. You did the Minnesota Mayhem. You did the summer tournament tour as well, and then nationals this weekend. What have these tournaments done for you in terms of preparation? And is your plan to go to Worlds too at this point in time?
Yes, I'm going to Worlds as well, but staying solid, taking care of my body more to where I'm able to continue to play. Like there were some questions that came up from Chris just to see like where like my cardio was, where my legs are at, and I didn't miss a down really at nationals. I'm ready to go. It's one of those things to where, especially in like our non-con formats that we performed in, I can play all day. It's just one of those things to where it's a mental thing. You just got to keep pushing through. And then with our team too, like we don't really get breaks like unless we really need it because our captains and our core players for them like, no, you got to stay out there. You got to dig deep if you want to win. That's the biggest thing. So I carry that mentality from like playing with Venom, listening to those vets, and then carrying it to the other teams as well, like my own teams. And then for End Zone Maniacs, you just got to dig deep even when you're tired.
Yeah. Now, for nationals, you guys were down at Arlington, Texas this last weekend. It sounded like you had some pretty favorable weather, minus one day where you had to do some practice in the rain or what have you. How did this event go for you guys? How does it compare to other tournaments that you've been and participated in? And where did you feel like you had to kind of really push yourself this weekend?
I think it went well. Obviously, it sucks coming back with no win. Um, but like I told Chris and some of the other guys, since I've traveled with End Zone, this is the best. This is the best ball I've had since I've played with End Zone Maniacs. To where everyone was bought in, and everyone was digging deep too. It wasn't just guys just there to be there, just to say they went and played at nationals. Even with bringing in like one of the younger guys, Alex. I knew he had some big words with like wanting to like try out for the national team, but he showed he's one type of a player. He's one of a kind for sure, and the league will see that soon. Um, it's one of those things to where I think my biggest challenge was against this team called Dirty Birds. Um, real young crew. They just fly to the ball, offense and defense. So I kind of had to adjust and like delay stuff and like just pick them apart and like learn the things that like I learned from like some of the vet like centers that I've talked to. Um, that's the biggest thing. Yeah, just playing and figuring out the pace of these other teams because some of them I've never seen before. Because I usually don't. This is my first year really playing like consistently with End Zone, so I've never seen their teams before that they face. So it was definitely a challenge seeing like the different pace. The Texas flag football teams in general, they definitely showed up to win. Some of them came up short, but they love non-contact, and I do as well. But it's one of those things to where they play so much to where their schemes are so down packed. It's insane. So just the pace of that and learning and seeing like how every state's different. there's a few teams out there that were a little challenging. Gauntlet was the biggest like challenge, I would say. We met this team. I think they're from the Houston area. I can't remember their names, but their quarterback, you blinked, he scored because the QB can take off whenever. So just adjusting and stuff like that. I didn't really play much defense. I was on offense. But yeah, just adjusting and seeing like the different pace of these teams from out of states where it's insane. Like we have some really fast guys up here, but it's a different beast when you get on the road, no matter what division you're playing in, whether it's from amateur all the way up to like Olympic that's out there now.
Mhm.
You're going to see guys of all different calibers.
Yeah, and you guys tried out a variety of different formats too. You what 4v4 and 5v5 non-contact, and you guys didn't play any contact at all this time
No.
around, correct? Yeah. Yeah, I will say from my personal experience too, it seems like the teams that are, based in the South, they really love the non-contact formats. They really don't mess with the contact at all. You have to go against the West Coast teams or Colorado and some of the Northeast teams to get them involved in the contact. I mean, there are some Southern teams that do the contact, but it's not as many as the non-contacts for sure. And as you said, yeah, them boys are fast.
Yeah.
It's just it's a whole different breed, and just the opportunity for them to I think they play as much as we do. Obviously, whether being in the South gives them that opportunity, but I think we're a little bit more structured with everybody knowing everybody, that it kind of allows us to allows teams to compete with teams like Jabari, who's at that level on a national and world's level, to kind of elevate everybody else. So just last question here, just kind of going through a variety of different things here. If you're trying to format your own fives team,
Mhm.
who would you pick onto your team to be part of your fives? We'll make it easy. We'll just have you pick five guys.
Okay.
And who would you pick and why?
Hmm. I'll start with the center. Um, Outside of me, I would probably go either Lamar for sure. Lamar's a way better center than me, but that's like we don't need to talk about that. He's a dog. Um, Receivers, Tank. Um, Quarterback, Rabbit for sure. I'd have Alex though too, so that'd be like my honorable mention because he showed he can ball for sure in these small ball formats. What's that? We got three. Uh, Cortland. Cortland's really good at
Mm.
fives. He takes advantage of a lot of the field out there. And then my fourth, probably like a DB like Leandre, Terrence type of caliber DB, where they're just going to go up and get the ball. They're challenged to get the ball over top, and they can play both sides too. Um, yeah, someone like that, like Leandre.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty well-rounded starting five for that type of format. Like you said, a lot of it comes down to knowledge and expertise of the format itself. Because I think if you pick a lot of guys who don't necessarily understand it, that's a struggle in itself. But not only that, but they are well-rounded and talented to play on both sides of the ball. So okay, um, how did you guys do? Obviously, this last weekend, I didn't necessarily get the opportunity to follow all the way through. I know that you guys have made it to the elimination rounds. How far did you guys get into it?
I think the furthest we made it was semifinals, if I'm not mistaken. And every time we lost, it was to the team that won the championship. We didn't really we faced some hard scores in pool play. That's been like a pattern for End Zone is pool play is a struggle. Then
Mhm.
playoffs, it's a different ball game, and they showed that again this tournament. Um, yeah, there were some struggles in pool play, but every playoff appearance that we had and where we ended up losing at, the team that won is who we lost to. We didn't really lose any games in the playoffs by more than I don't think more than one score. They've all came down between like two to like maybe 8 points max.
Mhm.
Um, so that all the games were dogfights. There was a time we even petitioned a call out there to where we had enough time left on the clock to score again. Chris drew up a play for me to like release underneath a flood, and we scored. And then we had a defensive mishap, so then that cost us there. But yeah, it was all the games were dogfights, like down to the wire.
Sometimes that's a really good thing to have happen, though. It's disappointing in a loss standpoint because you're like, we were this close, but at the same time, you can pinpoint the plays that mattered the most, that it had an impact, or where the mistakes were made, and you can work and build off of that. So I think that's a really good sign for you guys, and that team. And I certainly hope you guys are able to pull from that and learn and be able to take it to the next level when you guys go compete together again. So I certainly appreciate the time that you spent, kind of give us a little bit of insight to your background, your history with the league and flag football in general, as well as the opportunity to hear how it went this last weekend. So thank you again, and I appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you on the reverse side of this holiday bye. Take some time with some family and heal up and get back after in December, right?
Yeah, right to it.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and let you go. I'm going to cover down the rest of the league at this point in time. Thanks, Jamil, for your time.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yep. Well, that was Jamil Cheeley, really a great guy in our league for TC. So if you're looking to connect with somebody who's obviously got some experience playing both on the local level and the national level, he's certainly someone to reach out to as well. So congratulations to End Zone Maniacs for, again, going and competing at one of the highest levels and actually having some success getting into the playoff rounds. And as you heard, nearly, getting to the top of the peak there. So I'm going to go ahead and go into this little plug here. If you're looking to register for TC, get into a league, we got winter registrations open right now. The early bird window has already passed. We are now in the regular registration period. So it's $1,000 to sign up a team. Registration still open. Regular registration still open until December 20th. So you got a little less than 30 days to get a team squad signed up or what have you. And then after the 20th, we are in that late registration deadline. We do have registration opened up to allow for up to 32 teams to sign up for our next season. Our next season will start January 3rd through February 28th. And it's only on Saturdays at the West St. Paul Dome. Games played between the hours of 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. It's indoors, so you don't have to fret about the weather. The impending snowstorm that we've got going on is a great reminder as to why we play indoors. So sign up today at tcflagfootball.com. Now, moving along, we're going to go ahead and go into this weekend's standings and results. So Warrior Division, week 4, we got Secret Agents that played Midwest Moving Company. Midwest Moving Company wins 24-19. Crash Outs handled Brad's Boys 30-13, and a Midwest Moving Company 18-0. And then in the closeout game, Secret Agents barely lose to Brad's Boys 21-20. As a result, Brad's Boys holds the 6-2 record at top. Midwest Moving Company at 5-3, Crash Outs at 500, and Secret Agents again with their sole win. Nobody moved within the rankings of the Warrior Division, so everybody's kind of standing where they're at. But I do see that when they come back to play in next week, there's a couple of good games that are lined up to that may shake up the standings. All right, go into our. Nope, don't want that one. I want this one. Let's go in and go into our Titan League. And here are the scores for that. Black Swan handled Wildcards 24-6. Nordic Warriors lost to Full Throttle 14-20. Full Throttle then lost to Black Swan 7-12. Wildcards blank out Nordic Warriors 27-0. Full Throttle returns the favor to Wildcards 13-0. And Black Swan gave a goose egg back to Nordic Warriors. I will say this last week we had 5 shutout games. I think that is a league record to have. So it was kind of interesting to see that. At the end of the standings, we still have End Zone Maniacs with a perfect record at 4-0 as they were on a bye. Black Swan did take a loss earlier in the season. They're still sitting at 6-1. BTA was on a bye this week. Full Throttle sits at 3-4, as well as Wild Cards. We kind of do a flip flop with the head-to-head loss, and the Nordic Warriors are still looking for their first win as they currently sit at 0-7 on the season. On to our Gladiator division. This is our elite division. And by the way, if you don't know the difference between these divisions, Warriors are recreational. These are new teams that are trying to figure out flag football. Titans, the mid-level tier, where you got teams that are semi-competitive. They got talent. They know the game. They're just not playing at the highest elite level. And then we've got the Gladiator division, which is our elite teams. And these guys make it very difficult for any team. You got to bring your A game every single play, not just every single game. Gladiator division game scores are Silverbacks shutout Super Soakers 12-0. Venom handles Aces Elite 15-6. Venom loses to Silverbacks 25-21. Super Soakers win against Aces Elite 35-12. And Silverbacks take on Aces Elite. They win. And then Venom handles Super Soakers 13-7. Results at the end of this for standings: you got Silverbacks sitting on top 6-1. 6-1 with Venom. The head-to-head, I believe, was the difference here. So Silverbacks moved up the spot. Super Soakers down to the third spot, and rises up to the third spot. Aces Elites drops. As Super Soakers sit at 3-4, and Aces Elite at 2-5. Magnum at 1-3. They had a bye this week, as so as Kalium Sheen. So that was our standings. As a reminder, this week everybody is on a bye week. No games as we are honoring our Thanksgiving bye. But when we return back, here are a slate of games for December. It was like 5th or 6th. Warrior Conference, 7:30 games. You got Secret Agents versus Crash Outs. The game to watch will be the Midwest Moving Company versus Brad's Boys. And then you got Midwest Moving Company against Sacred Agents and Crash Outs versus Brad Boys. One thing to kind of note, I think, is obviously in this division, you got Brad's Boys and Midwest Moving Company at top of the standings, but I think Crash Outs certainly had made some moves this last week to get themselves in a position to start winning some games. So it'll be on the Secret Agents to see if they can hang on within the standings there. Titan division. We got Wild Cards versus the returning End Zone Maniacs as they were on a bye. Full Throttle versus BTA. And then you've got Full Throttle versus End Zone Maniacs. I think this is going to be the game of the night for this division. BTA versus Wild Cards, and then Wild Cards versus Full Throttle in the later end, and End Zone Maniacs versus BTA. A couple of teams that will be on a bye week after this week will be Nordic Warriors and Black Swan. Moving along into our Gladiator division, you got Super Soakers taking on Magnum, Venom versus Kanyam Shim, and then you got Venom versus Magnum in the second round of games, Kanyam Shim versus Super Soakers, and the third round of games is Super Soakers versus Venom. My game to watch will be Magnum versus Kanyam Shim. Yes, both these teams are at the bottom of the barrel of the Gladiator division, but these games actually make for the most fun to watch, as they're usually closely competitive as well. Magnum just has I believe, a 1-game lead over Kanyam Sheen, and Kanyam Sheen is definitely looking for their first win of the season. I think this is that opportunity for them to rise. Aces Elite and Silverbacks are on a bye this week, on the week of December 5th. So those teams will rest up and then get back into it. My final plug of the night. Winter 2 registration for our Thursday night Blaine League is still going on as well. Early bird is still open until this weekend. Sign up today, lock in, get a little bit of a discount off your team registration, or you can wait until November 23rd and pay the normal regular price of $10.50 up until December 26th. says on the 25th. That's actually going to probably be the 27th through January 1st. And we are only going to have 2 divisions in that. We have our Warrior division, which is our lower, and our Titan division, which is our semi-competitive or upper division. Season dates January 8th through February 26th. You can register online at tcflagfootball.com. If you're watching this, you're probably watching this on our Facebook page or on our YouTube channel. If you don't know our YouTube channel, you can like and subscribe. It's the TC Flag Football League. That's the name of the channel there. You can like and subscribe there as well. One final thing that I just want to kind of communicate to everyone is outside of this league, we really appreciate everybody who joins our league and plays in it. The one thing that we want to make sure is everybody's having fun and doing it in a way that is very productive for the league. We have a code of conduct that we ask all players to participate and do good by. That means, sportsmanship, not trying to fight, not trying to challenge refs and things of that sort. Unfortunately, we are going to have to suspend a player for a very significant amount of time for for violating those codes of conduct. And we just want to remind players to take a moment, review the rules that are available at tcflagfootball.com. There's a link there. It says rules. You can go down and review those rules, but pay particular attention to our code of conduct guidelines. If you violate those, there are some stiff penalties, and we want to make sure that players are aware of those penalties and what you can do to prevent from catching one of those penalties. Outside of that, thank you all for watching. Hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving day, weekend, what have you. Spend time with friends and family, those who are most important to you. And we'll see you on the flip side in December. Thank you so much for for joining us, and have a great evening.